What I think is very interesting to observe that while there is this sort of desperate scramble to maintain what they plainly believe is some kind of moral high ground, it's so obvious that what really exists is astonishing corruption. Let's give you a very clear example of that. You might have seen recently the time where Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, said, "Kids in the Bronx don't even know what a computer is. Those kids are so ignorant and potentially not white that they don't even know what TikTok." I mean, of course they know. They've got phones, don't they? Ridiculous and extraordinary assumption. What's interesting about this is while very publicly claiming to care about issues like diversity and education and empowerment and inclusivity, which I believe are important issues, what we want is diverse and inclusive and above all else free societies. While making those kind of claims, it's actually significant to observe that in private, when it comes to real estate deals, when it comes to housing opportunities, Kathy Hochul operates in a very, very different way. It seems, in fact, that she is controlled by very different powers. Let's first of all look at this viral meme of her saying that young black kids don't know what a computer is, which seems a bit odd. And then we'll start breaking down the way that she made extraordinary deals with real estate companies that seemed like they deliberately made the housing crisis in New York, and in particular the ability of ordinary working people to acquire or even live in homes, much, much worse. So speaking this way, acting that way. An interesting theme when it comes to the neoliberal establishment. But remember, they care for you because, they claim to care. That's just not enough anymore, is it? So let's have a look at that viral moment first.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word a computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things.
They don't know what the word computer is. Computer. What was that? What the hell was that? I think that was the word computer. What? The word what? What? Like a really weird claim.
And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges.
You gotta have diverse voices. You gotta have diverse voices. Okay, well, let's see how diverse voices were served when it came to, look, it's past crunch time when Kathy Hochul had to provide housing solutions for ordinary Americans. We've seen the rhetoric, let's see the legislature. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is touting an agreement struck with the state's legislative leaders on housing, long a thorny issue in state politics that became law this week as part of the massive state budget bill. The governor called the New York housing law a historic agreement that strengthens protections for New York renters. A lot of kids in the Bronx don't even know what houses are. They see one, they don't know what that is. Is it a gingerbread house? But they wouldn't know the word house. Is it just gingerbread, they'd say. The coalition Housing Justice for All, however, has blasted Hochul's housing deal as a giveaway to wealthy real estate interests. Governor Hochul did not solve the housing crisis. Instead, she pushed through a housing deal written by the real estate industry to ensure they keep getting richer off the backs of hardworking tenants. Well, that doesn't sound fair. That doesn't sound kind. That doesn't sound diverse and inclusive, unless this whole racket of the neoliberal apparent left is all about pretending to care over there while taking back pocket deals over there. That can't be it, can it? Surely it's not that there's no real point of difference between the old corporatism of 20 and 30 years ago, except now they're pretending to care about vulnerable groups. It can't be that, can it? It can't have been since Clinton and Blair that the apparent left became warmonger parties that were owned by the same kind of corporate interests that have dominated state politics or national politics for the last 50 years. Longer, much, much longer. It can't be that. It simply can't be, because otherwise my whole belief system and raison d'etre would be, well, it would be nothing. It will be nothing but a pointless lie, the group said in a statement. Now, millions of renters across the state will struggle to keep a roof over their heads as rent and evictions continue to rise. Oh, so it's not made things any better. How odd. Under the deal, real estate developers would benefit from a new tax credit, 485X, for construction of apartment buildings where a percentage of units are reserved for lower income people at below market rents. We do stuff like that in this country. We're going to build a housing estate for affordable housing. What do you mean by affordable? We mean whatever we say we mean by affordable. Do you mean you've done a deal to build some tower blocks and that, and to make it look good, you've said there'll be some cheap apartments for poor people and we'll deal with that when we get there? Yeah, so that's what we basically mean. Yeah, look, a percentage of units are reserved for lower income people at below market rents. Since January 1st, 2023, donors in the real estate industry have given Hochul's campaign campaign at least 1.5 million. It seems that they've written the legislation. How often is that theme repeated? Do you see a Pentagon that is unaccountable, that can't pass an audit, that brokers deals with the military-industrial complex? Do you see a media that houses military-industrial complex employed pundits to tell you that you should go to war? Do you see a pharmaceutical industry with a FDA regulatory body that is, to a degree, significant degree, at least 50%, funded by the companies that it's supposed to be regulating? Do you see state media that you're funding that works in cooperation with the government to ensure you only see information that is suitable for them? Do you increasingly see corporate media funded so extensively through its advertising model or even its ownership model by pharmaceutical interests that they are unable to be objective when it comes to public health crises, which are usually used, or at least we now know, are utilized to legitimize centralized authority? Do you see any of that? And do you see in a fractal component here with Hochul how the whole paradigm works? Yes, we do. Hochul's campaign for governor in 2022 was heavily funded by large donations from wealthy donors who provided more than 9.1 million in campaign donations. But they just did that for kindness, you see, to protect you. Why won't you let them help you? Why won't you let them help you? Why won't you? Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.